This short film is about Spogg.com news and blog services, how to use them, and why they are so badly needed to help build a better future. Part 1. The Past. Traditional media such as newspapers, TV, magazines, books, news sites, blogs, and the back of milk cartons have one big problem. There is a single person or a small group of persons that creates the news for us and tells us what to read and what to think. Not too seldom, the corporations behind these small groups of people only have monetary or political interests, which will, of course, greatly affect how the news is presented to us, or in many cases, not presented to us at all. On almost all major news websites, it is not possible to comment on news articles. Is this because it would be technically advanced or expensive? No, it is because they don't want you to raise your opinion. Or even worse, they don't want you to tell other people about the endless errors and deliberate faults you found in their articles. Doing that would make them look bad, either as incompetent or liars, or both. And we cannot have that, can we? This one-way channeling of ideas and opinions has led to fewer and fewer people being involved in political and social issues and organizations. If you're not permitted to express feedback, you will become less engaged. Part 2. The Future. Our idea is to replace the old one-to-many relationship where the evil-minded, money-hungry corporation-paid journalist decides what you should read with a new many-to-many information and blog relationship between the editors and readers through the good-minded, money-hungry member-paid community, namely Spogg.com. It's not only one view which should help form our opinions. This could be total chaos. If everyone can write random stories and publish them, there would be no way to find the ones that actually are interesting. Luckily, this is where Spogg.com news and blogs services come into play. It enables all of our members to collectively edit news and blogs in a user-controlled manner. Part 3. How it works. At first glance, the Spogg.com news and blog services can look complicated, but there really isn't much you need to know to start using them. Higher rated and thus more interesting news items are placed at the top of the page. That's the area closest to the ceiling, unless your screen is upside down, but then you have a bigger problem or live in Australia. Sorry, if you do live in Australia, you can replace that remark with Europe. When you click on the title of a news item or on the Read More link, the item will fold out and you will see links to sources related to that article. These are links to other news sites that writes about this particular event. Higher-rated links are displayed higher up in the list, and crappy links will quietly fall off the page and eternally slosh through the brim-filled sewers of cyberspace sludge. Part 4. Contributing. Please, do always rate the items you read. It only takes one single click, and it will help decide which items will be displayed at the top of the page, closest to the ceiling, remember? One click isn't much to ask, is it? We know you can click, since you're watching this, unless you're an executive and had one of your many underlings do it for you. You can always help by approving other members' contributions. When help is needed, a small hand will appear next to an item. That is an icon of a hand, not an actual hand floating in the air. That would be creepy and technically impossible. Click the hand to start voting for the updates other members have suggested. If someone has suggested to change the title of an item about how great Spogg is to Spogg Sucks, you click the red down arrow. But if it is a good suggestion, you should definitely click the green up arrow. Finally, by clicking the yellow pen next to an item, you can suggest changes yourself. Just remember that the changes will not take effect until a sufficient number of members have approved your suggestion. Also, every time an item changes, the number of votes required to change it again increases. Part 5. More than news. Through the Spogg News, you can publish many more things than just plain text. It is possible to embed images and videos. No, Paris, not that kind of videos. And you can add poll questions related to the stories you add. The polls give you the power to find out what other people think about current events, your ideas, or any other interesting or entertaining questions, like how long it would take before Superman would surrender in a fight with Chuck Norris. You can even use the polls to create trustworthy reports that you can send to your not-so-trustworthy politicians or other decision-makers. Part 6. Spread the word. We came up with the idea for the Spogg.com news, blog, and poll services because it is a thing that we really think the world needs. Too much of the decision-making is influenced by lobbying organizations with loads of money. With your help, we can change this. Well, at least the influence part. Together, we can build a world where your opinions really make a difference. When there are enough people on Spogg.com, the decision makers will no longer be able to ignore us.